One Zambia, One Nation. Good morning and welcome to the news. I'm Jacqueline Vukovic. Stories making headlines. The Constitutional Court adjourns proceedings of the main presidential petition to Monday next week. Senior Chief Shakumbila of the Sala people in Mumbwa appeals to political parties to accept the outcome of the Constitutional Court. And football fans urged to turn up in numbers for the Chipolopolo Kenya game. The Constitutional Court has adjourned its proceedings of the main presidential petition to Monday next week. Constitutional Court President Justice Hilda Chibomba made the adjournment after hearing oral argument from the petitioners, United Party for National Development, UPND leader Hakainde Hichilema, and Party Vice President for Administration Geoffrey Mwamba. Justice Chibomba noted that the adjournment was necessary for the petitioners to engage lawyers and be heard. She premised her ruling on grounds that the petitioners' lawyers had recused themselves, citing inadequate time allocated to them by the court to fully represent their clients. Earlier, UPND leader Mr. Hichilema argued that the petitioners needed to be heard as the presidential petition is a serious matter that affects Zambians. And UPND Vice President for Administration Geoffrey Mwamba said the petitioners have the constitutional right to be heard. But Attorney General Likando Kalaluka had earlier argued that it would be a nullity if the Constitutional Court extended the proceedings of the petition beyond the 14-day constitutional limit. And Senior Chief Shakumbila of the Sala people in Mumbwa has appealed to political parties to accept the outcome of the Constitutional Court. Senior Chief Shakumbila says the country is founded on One Zambia, One Nation motto and that there is no need to engage in violence. The traditional leader also joins other stakeholders in calling for peace, was speaking in an interview with Zanis in Mumbwa. Meanwhile, Senior Chief Shakumbila, who recently gave out over 7,000 hectares of land to government, says he welcomes investment in his chiefdom.
Us as traditional leaders, we are the owners of the people. We are the leaders of the country. We don't want violence. We want peace. Zambia has been a peaceful country from the time of its independence up to now, and we want this to continue, and I believe it will continue. They have to become, especially now when they're waiting for results to come from the courts of law, let them continue being together. We don't want any violence in the country. We are not used to that as Zambians ourselves. Zambia is known as a Christian country all over.
The Lusaka High Court has thrown out an application in which Movie TV appealed against the decision by the Independent Broadcasting Authority (IBA) board to suspend its broadcasting license and that of Company Radio Limited. In his judgment dated September 1st, 2016, Judge Mwinde Siavwapa stated that the appeal to the court against the IBA board is misconceived and incompetent. Judge Siavwapa further states that Movie TV should have appealed to the Minister of Information against the IBA's decision and wait for a response. The judge says if the private TV station was not satisfied with the minister's response, the next step was to appeal to the High Court against the minister's decision. He added that a person aggrieved by the decision of the board cannot appeal to the High Court, but only a decision of the minister is appealed to the High Court. The judge said Movie TV's appeal to the High Court has no decision by the minister against which the appellants may appeal. Judge Siavwapa says the appellants used the wrong procedure to try and challenge the IBA board's decision. This was in a matter in which Movie TV had appealed to the High Court against the decision of the board of the IBA to suspend the broadcasting licenses for Movie TV Limited and Komboni Radio Limited. We take our first commercial break. Keep watching. University of Zambia Vice-Chancellor Professor Luke Mwamba has advised newly inducted medical doctors to uphold ethics and serve humankind with dignity. Professor Mwamba says doctors have a responsibility to provide hope to patients and that this should be done with high levels of confidentiality. He said the 112 doctors inducted yesterday will make a huge difference in the health sector that is currently operating at less than 50% human resource in different cadres. Professor Mumba said this during the induction ceremony of 112 medical students and 365 other health professionals. And speaking earlier, Ridgeway Campus School of Medicine Dean Faston Goma encouraged the inducted students to continue upgrading their knowledge. He said medicine is not a static profession and that professionals cannot be competent without improving on their knowledge. Zambia currently has 2,441 registered doctors.
May the reverse be my Lord. So help me God. So help me God.
For the first time, we are graduating PSC nurses who have been trained under the distance education mode, as the Dean alluded to earlier. These graduates are ready for teaching positions in both public and private schools of nursing, which will in turn increase the number of graduating nurses and midwives. We are extremely excited to graduate more than 100, and to be specific, 117 graduating doctors for the first time in the history of our school. This is not a mean achievement, as we have broken a record of graduating between 60 and 40 doctors. That was the case in the past. And this has been the status quo for many years. At this point, we would like to thank all those who have contributed to this achievement, especially the University Teaching Hospital colleagues who have taught, guided, and mentored these doctors under difficult conditions, considering the high patient turnover in the hospital.
In the last few years, there has been a lot of innovation, especially when it comes to distance education. And this year is a milestone year in that the distance education program is producing its first graduates.
Rice traders in Senanga district of Western Province are calling for the regulation of the price of paddy rice. The traders are also appealing to the local authorities to designate a decent market specifically for rice traders. More in this report.
A drive into Mongu, Kalabo or Senanga districts of Western Province compels you to buy the famously tasty Mongu rice, among other products. In a province well known for producing arguably the best rice in the country, it is no wonder the trading of Mongu rice is on the rise. Debbie Walumwea has been selling rice for the past 15 years.
Kakuli kwa likolo alusikaya choeko na luitu saze za kupimisa ngati rice ona chwalo. Kashara kufa kwa foruke nsani bana baruna kuma likolo.
Apart from the income the business generates for her daily needs, she feels there must be a decent market designated to rice traders in Senanga, unlike the current trend which lacks order.
Kakumoloko kakuyikupela akambika no kakupa kulineke ba kansu na so nakuweza kulikafera na babare xa rice no so nakwina kulukulukumu.
This reporter queried the high pricing to which Debbie attributes to the price hike in paddy rice by the farmers an area she feels should be regulated.
Manzeni wona kubanyola ne mtaba kulikambe balimi na bakakona kulongera ngate ne 50 kg at is exactly. Kufita ma 35 yawase kululekisa kona mbona ko niteko ya pahama. Kuluna baireka.
A delicacy like Mongo rice, regardless of the pricing, leaves my crew no option than buy some for our long trip back to Lusaka. Mary Kasoka Mwekisa, ZNBC Business News, Senanga, Western Province.
We take another break. Keep watching. In the rest of the news, the Zambia Sports Fans Association has appealed to the nation to turn up in large numbers and support the national team as it takes on Kenya in the final leg of the 2017 Africa Cup qualifiers. Association President Peter Makembo says though tomorrow's AFCON qualifier match is a formality game, it is important as it will help determine the team's performance in future games. Etambuyu Katota has more.
Game, and a stadium without fans would never be complete. Zambia will on Sunday host Kenya in a dead rubber final Group E Africa Cup of Nations qualifier at Levi Mwanawasa Stadium, and various football fans in Lusaka have pledged to continue supporting the national team. This is despite not qualifying to the 2017 Gabon Africa Cup of Nations showpiece.
For sure, we're going to watch. To be a good game, although it's like a formality, but we need to gain some more points from there.
I love Zambia so much. I'm a soccer fan to the fullest. I've been like supporting Zambia national team for like I think it's now 15 years now.
For Zambia's game, now okay, here in Zambia like we do have like a good team. That's what I can say.
It's just to support kind team as Zambians also support our team.
And Zambia Sports Fans Association President Peter Makembo explains the importance of the game against Kenya.
That team, it has come wounded, knowing fully to say we carried the victory on our soil. So, to us, we know what it means when it comes in a return game. To us fans, we are going to move in massive, as usual. The assurance to the team is that we are going there. We are already oiled up our machinery brass band to move there in full force, so the players should not even think of lacking anything in terms of support.
Zambia, who are third in Group E, on 6 points, are out of the 2017 AFCON, being hosted by Gabon. Etambuyu Katota, ZNBC Sports, Lusaka.
We end the news now with stories making headlines. The Constitutional Court has adjourned proceedings of the main presidential petition to Monday next week. Senior Chief Shakumbila of the Sala people in Mumbwa has appealed to political parties to accept the outcome of the Constitutional Court. The Zambia Sports Fans Association has appealed to the nation to turn up in large numbers and support the national team as it takes on Kenya in the final leg of the 2017 Africa Cup qualifiers. And that's the news. Thank you for watching. Good morning.